Welcome to another edition of the SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum and Wicked Cushion. Wicked Energy Gum is a convenient, fast-acting alternative to energy drinks. Reacts 5 times faster for alertness, focus, without having to fill up on liquids. I'm Jeremy Elliott, joined by Ryan Hand. Ryan, how you doing?
Doing well.
Not exactly happy with what's going on with our picks.
Told you it was going to happen.
It's close. What's it, 8 now? I'm like 8 positions ahead of you.
You're 1 position ahead.
We need a recount.
1.
Here's where I pull away, though, because we're doing
It's not going to be a recount. Joe's, you know Joe's, right?
That's right. Joe Von Schultz in California, keeping track. I need to pay him to add some to my total.
Yeah. Well, that meatballs, and you can trade him meatballs. And by the way, he said he talked to Joey, the price went up.
It went to $450 for per meatball.
$4.95.
I thought it was $450.
Something like that, yeah. Went up.
It's too much.
And you're going to be buying them anyway, so.
Well, that is if we're in California.
Well, we might have to go there for one of my meals.
Just for, with Joey Bats.
Yep.
You're going to sit with Joey.
Great.
So, a lot of racing action last weekend. Not as much as it could have. Obviously, the World of Outlaws got banged out, so there was nothing from the road out there. But we had plenty to talk about around here.
Kings Grove got banged out as well.
Yeah, but we had Lincoln and Port Royal and kind of a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, yeah.
USCS. We're going to start there. We're going to start outside of Pennsylvania. Greg Wilson gets the win. I was stunned when I saw the results.
Yeah, I didn't even realize he was going to run a 360 this year, but that's great.
Yeah, North Alabama Speedway, went down there, collected a win. Only 15 cars.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk.
Not the hotbed of sprint car racing.
No. But we're going to talk to him in segment 2 about that, and then we'll see what's going on with Greg. I mean, I think he's going to run the All-Stars this year.
That'd be a great addition for the All-Stars because he's one of the best All-Stars. You know, he's won a bunch of championships and Speed Week titles and stuff, so it'll be a great addition to the All-Stars.
I agree.
A slick track master, Greg Wilson.
I think in Ohio, he's tough.
Oh, he is.
Like Eldora especially.
What about Charlotte when it gets slick? Like the day
he's
shows
won, yeah, he's won there.
He's awesome. I love watching him. I'm like, man, how does he get his car that good? But, yeah.
Loves the dry slick, and I just know if he could time trial Eldora early and start in the top 10, he'd be dangerous.
He'd absolutely be dangerous.
He's always starting back in the cheap seats.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to him about that in segment 2. Lincoln Speedway. Alan Krimes gets the win. We'll be talking to him in segment 4. This is a feel-good win. Hasn't won since September of 2016. And his dad Larry's going through cancer. So
great win for those guys.
Yeah, awesome. I agree. You know, well wishes to Larry Krimes. Hope he can beat it. Hope he gets better. But seeing Alan Krimes win this early in the season, I think that's good because it's underfunded.
Yeah, and had to miss some races last year at the Grove. Usually a 2 nights a week racer forever, and last year he had to miss some races. So yeah, it's great to see him get an early win. Some guys that didn't have a really good night at Lincoln, Danny Dietrich and Freddie Raymer. Yeah, neither one got the finish apparently. Yeah, Danny Dietrich, apparently there was an incident in turn 4. Chase Dietz was involved in it. He pulled off. Chase Dietz went to the back of the field. Freddie Raymer was running 6th late in the race, had a flat tire. So just that bad luck continues to follow Freddie, whether it's drawing poorly at the Grove and having to start in the back of a loaded heat race, had to come through, got up to 6th from 24th or 23rd. He's got a fast car. He's got a fast car, just can't put things together. So I expect him to win in the next 2 weeks. Hint, hint. Yeah, I think I know where you're going with that. So maybe I should have kept my mouth shut. Mm-hmm. Danny's still going to win races. He's going to Port Royal this weekend. Saw that. And he runs well up there. He does. He'll be a great addition for the Port Royal deal. And stays daytime. Majority will be daytime, so he's always deadly in the daytime surface there. So that'll be pretty advantageous for him. I agree. Hint. Yeah, hint. Yeah. I don't know who picks first. Yeah, so we'll have to figure that out. We'll have to figure that out. And by the way, Lance DeWeese will be at Port Royal. Just something to think about. So, yeah, just something to think about. Only 20 sprint cars, 23 58s. Troy Wagman gets the win in the 358 race. It was a marathon. It looked like, I looked at Race Monitor, it looked like it took a while. Well, it was 29 minutes, but I think they shut it off during red flags. Oh. Yeah, that's definitely a long time then.
So I'm thinking it was closer to an hour. They had 3 red flags, I think, before it even started.
Wow.
Before they completed a lap.
That's not good for the 358 car count.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Look, no, that just was not a good decision. I don't care that they run them first. Look, I'd like to see Williams Grove run first once in a while.
Yeah, there's nights when they can help widen the track out, and
Not
honestly, they don't deserve to always be on a rubber down track either.
No.
At the end of the night, there's nights
Right.
at the Grove when I think, man, these poor guys just destroyed probably 4 tires, honestly, and their purse doesn't allow them to really replace them too easily.
But not when it's 38 degrees out
Yeah.
at night and it's windy, and they started at 6 last week.
Yeah, that was at least a good idea. I mean, getting the early start time for the cold weather, but yeah, I'm sure there was some people that weren't happy.
Good idea, not good that night.
Right.
Do it this week when I think it's supposed to be 60. Could be 60 at starting
Yeah,
event.
that'd be nice.
Be a lot better.
Looking forward to some warm weather.
Another just quick note: Tim Gladfelder, after 2 DNFs, comes back, finishes second. I don't know if there's anybody in the pit area who needed a good run more than Tim Gladfelder.
And he's had a really fast car down there from last couple races last year, early season this year. He had a flat tire running in the top 3 or 4 the first week.
Well, no, that's the new week he flipped. He had the front wing mount brake.
Oh, that's right.
And he flipped in the
That's
corner.
right, yeah.
And then last week,
Yeah.
that's when he had the other issues. So it's been an expensive early season for him, but getting a second place run is pretty good.
Yeah, good job of them guys.
Port Royal, last lap pass.
Dylan
Sisney did it to Anthony Macri coming out of turn 4. We're going to talk about this more in segment 3 because we're going to play Hot Knot. And I'll give my thoughts on Anthony Macri because there's been some social media blowback, I think unwarranted. But we'll get into that in segment 3. But Dylan Sisney hadn't won it there in like 5 years.
Yeah, that's a surprise.
It doesn't seem like that.
No, it doesn't seem. I when I read that, I was like, man, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Much to his dismay, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's nights he had a really fast car there.
Yeah, just again, you get DeWeest or you guys when you guys are. I mean, there's a lot of times that you guys came on late in races, and Greg won, or whether it was Lance, Brock, somebody, just a lot of top 5s just couldn't close the deal. Ironically, closes the deal in a year where he has HP Motors this year. Mm-hmm. We did a story on him, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, SprintCarUnlimited.com, and he's anxious. He's going to travel a little more this year in the sense of this area. He's going to run the Grove more. He's already been to Lincoln.
Yep.
So I see a better season for Dylan Sisney.
I think he's got a former crew chief of his helping him out a lot too, Jim Schreiner.
He does.
I think he's very comfortable with Jim, and I think that definitely will help him out more than anything for his confidence. But Jim also does a good job working on the race car, so good for them guys. Got a early season win, and he really, honestly, he found the top of 3 and 4 there the last 2 laps, and man, he was hauling the mail.
He was hauling the mail. Mm-hmm. You're going to bring out that one?
Mm-hmm.
22 cars at Port.
Yeah, that's a little scary as well.
Well, no, the scary part to me was that 7 of them are outsiders and are not regulars. Brock Zierfoss is going to run the All-Stars. Yep. I mean, it's coming.
Yep.
So now you're down to 15. That's spooky.
There is some guys though that didn't come out yet. You have your Hershey, your Trent Schaefer, guys like that they'll be out. They'll be out. They're just not coming out when it's this cold.
I hear Darrell Steinley's coming back too.
Oh, great.
So
that'd be good.
Yeah, and I think too, Port Royal's a commuter track. Mm-hmm. It's become like the Knoxville. These guys stop in because it's located off 8. You can come down 80.
They stop in because they pay really good in their big races. That's why they stop in.
Well,
they're practicing for the big races.
Good point. And guys from Lernerville, guys from the western part of the state love running there. The AJ Flicks, Hoball, Garvin, they were all there this week.
It's got to be the raciest track in PA. I mean, their daytime shows, honestly, I hated daytime shows, but their daytime shows are some of the best racing. I don't know why it doesn't rubber up like every other track does in the day, but it just puts on some excellent daytime racing.
Yeah, and I need to say this because I saw some, again, social media stuff, and I saw some. Just because it's black doesn't mean it's rubbered up.
No.
Okay, rubbered up is when it's
It actually changes back from black when it actually takes rubber. It almost looks like a more reddish black look. So,
and it gets faster.
Oh yeah, it locks like literally. You can't leave that lane once it locks down. Like if it would have been locked down on the bottom, Sisney wouldn't have passed Mack.
Never in a million years.
Because the lap car would have been going as fast as everybody else. So
it was black, but it wasn't rubber down.
Black doesn't always mean rubber. Black
exactly.
Means, honestly, when it gets black, especially at port, it just means it's slick and the racing's probably about to get real good.
Their Labor Day shows the last how many years have been outstanding.
I hated going to day shows, but man,
the racing was good.
The racing is real good,
and it was real good last week. And
kudos to them guys.
I'll be up there this week.
Yeah.
I went to NCAAs, which, by the way, Spencer lead. What did I tell you? You were all doubting it. That should be 5 more positions in our pool because you doubted me.
What about Penn State winning the team championship?
Okay,
you had no
there was no doubt about that.
There was no question there.
None at all. Okay. Well, that's going to wrap up.
One of our regular listeners was there too, wasn't he?
I think we had a few regular listeners.
Nice.
Yeah, racing in high school and college wrestling, they kind of go hand in hand. So we definitely have some fans that are the both sides of the crossovers.
Yeah, and
it was still cold, so people did other things. But that's going to wrap up segment 1, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum and Wicked Cushion. We'll be back in segment 2 with Greg Wilson. Stay tuned. You've been doing that for a little bit now, and that's a grueling series, and it can beat you down. I mean, you've talked about that in the past. How tough is it dealing with struggling to even make the A main and night in and night out, and also, I mean, finishing 15th, 18th? That's something you weren't used to with the All Stars. How do you deal with that mentally?
I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but this is what I'm gonna say. It kicks your ass. You start to question if you forgot how to do this, or for me, it's me and my wife that own this thing, and I mean, you work your tail off, and we try really, really hard we build a pretty good race team, and you think you're doing the right thing, and then sometimes you realize, man, I screwed that up, and so on and so forth. And you race at that level with that competition with those teams and drivers. It's tough. But it was something I always dreamed of doing. I would love to go back maybe in the right situation, but a number of things have changed it. And part of that was getting your rear end kicked. I mean, I realized that we got a great group of partners that help us, and, with Hercules, Ohio Logistics, DSC Hydraulics, and Gear Outlet, they've been with me a long time, and, you just, you realize that I don't know if we can build our team to compete night in and night out, 100 races a year at that level, and, surrounding yourself with the right people's hard. And I'm not making excuses, but some of it I just didn't do a very good job of. And the best thing that we could do is back off on our schedule and do the things that we're doing and get a little confidence back, be able to get back to our shop and make changes. I'm a pretty hands-on guy. We're looking to, we're kind of hoping our buddy Old Bonds is going to come on the road with us a little bit and help us improve it so much by being out there, and especially from having to do everything, marketing team and keep everything, keep all the parts in the trailer, and keep guys paid, and just all of it. It's a bit overwhelming, but damn, what a learning experience.
Were there nights that you felt you couldn't race because you had to get to the next race?
You know, yeah. You know, between getting to the next race, and you know, we work really hard at promoting the people that help us get to do this. And that being said, you know, we put our own self, and you know, not necessarily Hercules or anybody else, but we put our own self in some positions a couple times where races had rained out, and they moved them to the next day, which they did the right thing. Everybody did the right thing, but maybe we had a dealer visit scheduled 11 hours away. That created some issues, but we managed to make it all work and you know, keep everybody happy. But you know, I'm not going to lie, the race is sacrificed at times, and but you know, we got to do what we got to do. Just you know, if my partners don't want to stay involved with us, the W20 team is no longer. You know, we you know, I tell everybody I haven't forgot where I come from, and we got here by hard work and doing the right things, and not always doing the right things, learning from our mistakes, and you know, that's what we're trying to do, and build a better team, and you know, win some races. I know that I'm you know, I'm 43, so I'm closer to the end of my career than the beginning, and I know that, and I still feel like we can. You know, I want to win that King's Royal, and the only way to do that is to work our tails off and do what's best for our team and our sponsors, and I think we're doing that now.
Greg, I feel like you're in a pretty nice situation there, being able to control your own destiny with your own team. What's it like to be able to spend all this time with your family going up and down the road? I mean, that was one of the reasons that I kind of got away from racing, and I feel a little bit jealous with you being able to spend all this time with your family on the road.
Well, you know, I'm not going to lie, it's hard. I kind of joke with everybody. They got all these shows on TV now called Tiny House Living, and I look at what we've done for the last. When my first daughter was born, you know, 10, she'll be 11, and you know, so that many years ago. And I tell people we invented Tiny House Living. They should be videoing us. I mean, this still gets quite chaotic now that my girls are older. I mean, we were lucky enough to meet some people, some good old boys from Mississippi, and we got to stay on their farm the other night. And we woke up yesterday morning, and they call him Old Dad. Old Dad Andy took my daughters down, and they got to basically witness a calf being born. And then I had to answer a lot of questions I wasn't quite ready for. So you know, they're getting some good life lessons, and we are very, very fortunate. We try to stop. I still try to put my family first, and you know, they make a lot of sacrifices for me to get to do what I love. And you know, I guess at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie, I get about half choked up talking about it, but I hope at the end of the day, when my daughters get older, that they say, man, my dad busted his ass to give us a good life and teach us that, you know, go after your goals and work hard, and good things will come.
Would you be able to travel as much if you couldn't have your family with you?
But my racing schedule will the day that happens, my racing schedule is going to change a whole bunch. You know, I waited till I was older in life to start a family. When I met my wife, and you know, we complement each other. She's my best friend. I mean, she's beside me when she don't want to be, and it's vice versa. You know, and when that happened, you know, I guess I hope it's made me a better person. And now that we got girls, you know, I waited a long time to have a family, and I want them to be involved in racing. I want them to do it, but I also want them to do what they want to do in love and life, and I want to be a part of that too. So, you know, the day that they got to do some things and be in sports and things like that, my schedule will change a little bit. But if I can't have them on the road with me, you know, so we're gonna go back, and we're gonna travel a lot. Like we've been traveling a lot now. We've been to California and Texas and Vegas, or Arkansas. We're gonna race, I think, Tennessee and Arkansas this weekend, weather permitting, and we'll start working our way back home and run a few races around home, and then get after it with the All-Star deal.
Greg, with all the traveling you do, is it really hard to find good crew members and that want to stick it out and put the time in to do it?
Well, to be quite honest with you,
that's a loaded question.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been fortunate. I mean, I've had a lot of good guys. You know, here and there, I've had guys that have stayed for a while. I've had guys that, you know, just weren't a good fit for my team. Great guys. You know, but I never realized. I've heard people that I've drove for that have their own business. I watched my uncle go through it when I was a kid working at his engine shop, and damn, good employees are hard to find. Some that finding the right guy that fits your program, that fits, like for me, fits my family. That has the same work ethic. Like I tend to work my guys in the ground. I mean, I do. I'm picky. I'm a pain in the ass. When it comes to being a boss, but I try to do things the right way. And, one kid that worked for me, Zach Holloway, was with me for quite a while, and I helped him get a job because I thought I was helping him get better in the racing deal, and I have. But a funny story, he went home and back to Seattle, Washington, and his dad came out like the next year, and he says, I want to tell you, you're teaching my son a lot. And I know he gripes and complains some, but he says, he made me take our garden hose and wipe it off before I put it away. He says, no, I just throw it up alongside the house. And I said, well, I don't know if that's good or bad, but I think I'm going to take that as a compliment. And, my Hampshire and my own father and my dad was very, very picky about things at times and different things. Bob was very picky about doing things mechanically the right way. My dad was picky about keeping things clean, and honestly, my mom is probably worse than that. And unfortunate or however you want to look at it, and my mom and dad split up when I was pretty young, but they raised us together. And having both of them picky, I mean, we weren't allowed to leave our clothes out at mom or dad. So I guess I've carried that on, and I'm pretty picky. So that makes it hard to keep help. I guess I'm rambling a little bit, but help was the hardest thing on the road. I'm not gonna lie. That's to be honest with you, that's probably one of the top 2 or 3 reasons we come off the road. I physically could feel myself getting drained, and wonder why I was doing all this. And the only thing that I could really do was, like I said, scale back our schedule and do something that we could fit. But that also, I think, is going to allow me to get a lot of guys that are really good at this are getting a little older, and they don't necessarily want to travel that much as the outlaw schedule. So it's looking like maybe I'm going to get a pretty good group of guys that surround me, and a lot of it's just because we're going to travel quite so much.
What's the biggest thing you learned from running the World of Outlaws?
Being prepared, learning that some things maybe don't matter so much, and maybe some things do. From the racing side of things, and I guess from my end, from getting my butt kicked quite a bit, is, I've never been a guy to give up on anything, and I've always, I try to surround myself with people that have that same attitude, and, when you get beat up like that, there's a couple points where, I was ready to peel out and go home. But you can't quit. You can't give up. And those guys that have done it for 20 years, and to watch what Donnie Schatz is doing in today's era, I watched Steve Kinzer and those guys are my heroes, but to watch what Donnie's doing and their team, and to stay at that level for so long, some people are Donnie Schatz fans, some aren't, but I'm going to tell you right now, that dude, that guy and his team, they're the real deal, and so much respect for those guys, and Darren Pittman's, and, I don't want to forget, Jason Sides. To do it on their own like they do it for so long, and the Craig Kinzers, man, it's tough. A lot of respect for those guys that have done it all those years, and I was lucky enough, I've been lucky enough to be a part of that, and to me it's an honor.
You were an all-star champion, and you really were, I don't like to use the term well-known because everybody knows you, but you were a major player, with the All-Stars, and then you kind of go Outlaws, and you have to kind of share time, or maybe overshadowed by the Donnie Schatz, David Gravel, or whoever is doing well. Is this your kind of motivate you to kind of get back and maybe build this up again, build your name up again, and kind of maybe come into the limelight a little more like you were when you were winning championships?
Well, I don't know how to say this. I've never been one for the limelight. I was just fortunate, man. The only thing I ever wanted to do since I was a kid, and you'll hear me say this, and it's not cliche. It's not a bunch of, I don't know how else to put it. It's not a bunch of ass kissing or a BS. That's all I ever wanted to do, and I love it. And so So I felt like that if you work hard at something, you know, success will come. And, you know, the limelight comes with success. I got tired of getting my butt kicked out there. You know, I don't do this I've never done it for the limelight. I've done it because I love racing and I want to win. I want to get back to winning, yes. I want to try to win a championship because the people that have allowed me to do something that I like to do with my family by my side deserve that. You know, and I want to give them, I want them to be a part of that. And, you know, hopefully I can reach some of those goals. And, yeah, I mean, I'd love to have my name on, you know, like winning Ohio Speed Week. That was our family vacation. My name's on the back of Ohio Speed Week forever. As long as Ohio Speed Week's going on, Greg Wilson was a champion. And that isn't for the limelight. I got to go there when I was a little kid with my family, and we went to every race. I got to do something that most people didn't get to do. And, you know, that's the thing. I mean, I hope people listen to this stuff and don't say, oh, you know, he's whatever. I hope they listen to it and they go back and they're like, damn, I'm miserable at my job. I'm going to take some chances. Life is short. And, because that's how I live. That's how I live. And, like I said, I haven't always done everything right. I haven't always treated, I've made poor choices racing and so on and so forth. But, pretty lucky to get to do what I do.
Well, Greg, it's, again, congratulations on last week, getting back to victory lane. We look forward to seeing you with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. And, again, thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having us. And we've been paying attention to what you do. And thanks for what you're doing for our sport. And, you know, hopefully I can do good enough. And you guys want me back on sometime.
I'm sure we'll be talking to you throughout the season.
All right, thank you.
Take care. Check out SprintCarUnlimited.com for sprint car news from around the country. One click away every day. The website features breaking news, results, features, rankings, a weekly podcast, and much more from the world of sprint car racing. The off-season, the news doesn't stop there. We also cover breaking news with silly season and also have news from the Australian Summer Series. Yearly subscription is $50, 6 months is $35, 1 month is $8. If you purchase a yearly subscription, you get a free t-shirt. We also have giveaways for our members, the Month of Money contest, and much more. Check out SprintCarUnlimited.com today. Welcome back to segment 3, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast, presented by Wicked Energy Gum and Wicked Cushion. Ryan, Greg Wilson, always entertaining.
You know, the one word that I can think of that best describes him is passion. He's got passion for sprint car racing, and just, I mean, when you talk to him and listen to him, he just sounds just authentic about his racing and everything that goes along with it. He's just a really good guy to talk to.
Yeah, and look, he knows he got his head kicked in.
Yeah.
With the World of Outlaws.
He's not afraid to admit it.
Yeah, and it was painful watching him run around sometimes, but he even said, you know, hey, it beats you up, and sometimes he couldn't race like he wanted to race because of having to go 11 hours away to do a Hercules tire appearance, which...
That's what keeps him out in the road.
That's what keeps you out in the road.
I'll tell you what, all those ass-kickings that he talks about is going to make him a lot better racer.
I agree. And I think you'll see him win some all-star races.
I absolutely agree.
So
now, I think he's gonna be a pain in the butt for those guys. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, I still think Aaron Reitzel gets the win in overall.
Yeah,
I mean,
points, yeah.
Well funded. Now he's seen the tracks.
Yep.
I think there's just going to be prepared better. Remember, Aaron Reitzel threw that together last year before Christmas, like right before Christmas. So really wasn't able to prepare and still won the title. So it's going to be interesting because the All-Stars also added Gerard McIntyre, Mark Holdren's car. So
didn't know that.
The All-Stars keep growing, and I don't know. I think it's a pretty good series.
Absolutely. I think it's a good series because you don't have to travel nearly as much as you do for the Outlaw deal. It leaves guys who really can't afford. I mean, honestly, one of the biggest costs in World of Outlaw racing has got to be the travel. Yeah,
well, that and smashing stuff up for 80 races.
Yeah.
You know, going to some podunk place wherever. So we're gonna play Hot Knot.
Okay.
I love playing hot not. I'm going to go first.
Absolutely.
We're going to go hot. I'm going to go Anthony Macri. I get it. Passed on the last lap twice. I understand that. Car has speed. Took the lead at the Grove. Got into a back of a lap car. Lost the nose wing. He could have 3 wins. I think he would have 3 wins. I didn't think he drove a bad race at Port Royal last week.
No.
Sisney found the top with 2 to go.
I feel like daytime racing is when it's not rubbered up. Let me clarify that. When it's not rubbered up, second place is sometimes the best place to be on a daytime surface because it does change, especially Port Royal. It really changes from the beginning to the end, and lines open up that maybe if you're leading, you never had to go there. And that I think that was certainly the case. Talking to him, he said, I never ever went to the top because I never really needed to in 3 and 4. And as I watched the video, Dylan was running the bottom the last 5 laps until 2 to go, and he knew he was going to run second if he stayed there. So what's the big deal? I'll go try the top for a lap and see if anything's happened, and it was.
Boy, did he just blasted around 3 and 4.
Yeah, the last 2 laps he made up. It was almost a second each lap.
Well, and I think here's the other thing. Sisney could take the chance because he was 6 seconds ahead of third. What was there for him to lose? Whereas Macri, and it's not like Macri was, I didn't think he was close to that lap car. I thought he was just still 2 car lengths.
I thought he was going to be okay as well.
He thought he was going to be okay. And look, and then at Lincoln he got passed by Danny Dietrich. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's not like he got passed by Babar the Elephant. He got passed by somebody who's really good at Lincoln, and Danny's, that. Danny moves around probably more than any driver in this area, and he'll do what he has to do to win, not without hitting you.
No,
I don't think he won't run over you.
He searches really good. He searches when there's not much open, or you think it's just about over. He's the guy that will go try to find something else.
Look, you got to lose before you win.
Absolutely.
And I think Anthony's passing cars. I think he's going to win some races this year.
I agree. They have a fast enough car right now, and he's got confidence. He's probably beat up a little bit.
Well, and he got beat up a little bit on the internet, which I think I'm going to write about that this week as well. I find it to be stupid. He's 19.
You don't really listen to what people say on the internet, though.
I don't, because if I did that, I probably wouldn't be doing this. But it's, for Anthony, that's tough.
Yeah, no, he's young, and he's going to hear it. He's going to listen to it and hear it. But I think the key thing there is he's passing cars. He's getting through his heat races when he doesn't draw in the invert. And I think obviously the car's fast, and he's driving it pretty well.
You're up.
I'm up. All right. Well, I got an outlaw who's hot. I know we didn't race outlaws last week, but Brad Sweet is starting to become Brad Sweet again. There was a little bit early season there. He wasn't running the top 5 every race, which is out of the normal for Brad, but now he's cranking off top 5s, and I think he's 10 points out of the lead.
Yeah, and he's finished second in the last 2 races and was 4th before that.
That's pretty much normal Brad.
That is normal Brad.
Yeah, he'll win a couple here shortly, and he may win a couple before they leave California.
And he lost Placerville, which he's really good at Placerville. Yeah. So he lost that race last week.
Yeah.
That probably stung a bit. Plus he's promoting it. So
he lost more money than you think, huh?
Yeah, they have one more weekend there before heading to Arizona. They go to Keller this week, and then they go to Paris. Don't know how it is at those places. However,
the consistency's back though. Like they run top 5 every night unless they have a major problem. So it's good to see that he's going to add a player in the points. I know it's locked up already, but
it is locked up, even though he's not leading.
If you have 2 players, and to split it up, Donnie's dominance, it'll certainly help.
By the way, Mike Mallett, Brad Sweet is elite.
He certainly is, Mike.
I'm going to go not, and we're going to stick with the World of Outlaws. Can they get a race in? They have the series. They've lost. They've raced 7 times. They lost 6 out of 13 shows.
I would go to California at a different time in the season because it almost seems like a rerun year to year out there. Like all you hear about is these guys trying to figure out what they're going to do while they're sitting around at the hotels.
And that's an expensive place to be sitting around.
No way.
You have to go with Joey backstage.
Yeah, $4.50 a meatball.
I mean, come on.
Can barely eat out there.
You're tapping $18 before you can get to the pasta. So, yeah, they've taken a beating. They took a beating last year too with rainouts.
Yes, that's what I mean. It feels like a rerun.
Yeah, and in here, the weather's questionable almost every week. Look, I wrote in the top 50. We brought back the top 50 that Jerry Regal used to do. A good friend of mine, really helped me a lot as a writer. We brought that back, and when I wrote that, the weather was good in Central PA all weekend. Now we get questionable weather for Friday as far as rain. So it's not just with the World of Outlaws, it's everywhere. But definitely the World of Outlaws not getting races in, that's a not hot.
Yeah, that stinks for them guys. I'm going to go hot. I'm going to go Mark Smith.
Are you going to just be positive? Am I a negative Nelly?
I've got it.
Okay, all right.
Just relax.
Look, everybody, yeah, I can. All right, go ahead.
Mark's obviously dominant in the 360, and he's won, I think, 4 races already this year. Traveling to different tracks. I don't think he's won one at the same track, so
nope.
He's pretty impressive in the 360. Hopefully he gets a 410 out and runs a little bit around here. But I think he's the leading feature winner in the country as of right now.
Well, not only that, he's going to come back to Sealands Grove.
Yeah, and spank everybody there, probably.
Spank. Yeah. Well, no, that's not. The other guys got to feel like they have a shot. Davey Frantic can run with him.
Yeah. No, there's guys that can run with him in certain weeks there. I mean, I'm not
saying... But if he runs every week, he's going to be champion.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. He can probably miss a week or two.
And remember, he finished second twice at the Ronald Laney deal down in East Bay. And he gave...
He did.
He gave it. He gave the one away, and I'm sure he'd like to have it back.
Yeah, that
was the one Corey Eliason won.
Well, the last night as well as the Ricardo passed him on the last lap. But we've had a lot of last lap passes this year. It's been an entertaining. It's almost like a NASCAR race. You don't have to tune in until the very end.
Although Port Royal last week ran 8 minutes and 23 seconds.
Yeah,
you'll miss it if you tune in late. Yeah. So, yeah, not. Definitely Mark Smith. I'm going to go, my last one's going to be hot.
Okay.
And I'm going to go Tony Stewart. You know, he's had 12 top finishes in 15 races.
It's pretty impressive.
And I know USCS and 360, I get it. But that's maintenance. It's him just getting more acclimated to be back in a sprint car with Jimmy Carr turning the wrenches. People forget he lost 2 years because... He couldn't be in the car for various reasons, a lawsuit, everything else. That's all done. Last year, he took some lumps.
Absolutely.
He was not good last year. I think he'd tell you that. Now, he looks pretty good. I mean, he has 2 wins. He has a USCS win. He has an All-Star
win.
So, USCS, he's in the top 3 of all 8 races he's run.
That's impressive in itself. Because, there's been some guys that have traveled with that series this winter so far. And
Mark Smith.
Yeah, Danny Smith's been there for some.
Yep.
Terry Gray, Morgan Turpin. So
Morgan Turpin's
Frantic for a few.
Morgan Turpin's
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a good series for them guys.
Sam Haferteep raced Bubba.
Yeah.
So a lot of he's doing a good job. So I'm anxious to see him race more this year.
I can't wait to see him run some more 410 stuff because I think his confidence is growing, and I think we all know he's a world-class driver. So as soon as he gets the confidence back that he can do that in a sprint car.
And maybe it was the win last week at Babs Motor Babs Motor Speedway. He looked
unbelievable, phenomenal. Yeah, he looked really, really good. I mean, I know the race car is really good, but he did really good things with the race car too that night.
Yeah, that's who's your last one?
My last one is not.
Look at you finally getting a knot in there.
Next time I'll just go with 3 knots to make you happy.
I try not to. It's tough.
Yeah, I bet it is. Negative Nancy. The Pennsylvania car count. I'm a little concerned right now.
Look at you. You're taking over for me. What are you concerned? Go ahead. Do tell.
What am I concerned about?
No cars.
No cars. It's cold, which I know has kept some of the cars at home, but also we've spoke about how many invaders we've had that won't be here weekly. I'm a little concerned. I like to see a B main every night.
Or every once in a while.
We're not close to B mains right now.
No.
We're closer to like 2 heat races instead of 3 and a B main. It's concerning.
Yeah, because
I would be concerned if I owned a racetrack right now.
Well, here's the other thing. What are we going to do? Okay, just the way this is shaking out. And I had this conversation with somebody this week. Okay, once the All-Stars kick up, once the All-Stars leave here, the end of April,
Yep.
what are we going to do? You know,
Two
Lernerville
days
starts up. Was it April, mid-April?
Yeah.
So Lernerville starts up, so now you're not getting those guys because they're going to go to Sharon or Mercer. And then you have the All-Stars running, so you're going to lose Zerfoss. So
It's scary. I'm concerned. I know last
you
year.
get hate mail because I get hate mail for saying
I'll take hate mail, but if you can't see that there's 20 cars isn't enough, then I guess I don't know why you're sending hate mail.
Well, it's simple mathematics, but people definitely. No, I agree with you on that.
I don't get hate mail because I'm not as high in California as you are.
Right. That's one way to look at it. But no, I think you're right on point with that. I'm really leery, and I'm probably worried about Port Royal more because again, it's the commuter track. But they got some new guys. Tyler Walton, Brent Shearer was up there. That might help them.
They're going to get their numbers. The thing about Port Royal is I feel like they have a lot more big shows than Lincoln does. So they're going to drag guys there the week before. You know,
yeah, it's a good point.
I think Port Royal will get its numbers.
Well, it'll be interesting, that's for sure. That's going to wrap up segment 3, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast. We'll be back in segment 4 with Alan Krimes. Stay tuned. Welcome to segment 4, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum and Wicked Cushion. Joining us on the phone is Alan Krimes, who won at Lincoln Speedway. Long time coming. Alan, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Not as good as you. You broke your, I guess, 2-year struggle at Lincoln. It's been a little over 2 years since you won there. How's it feel to get back in victory lane? And were you worried? Or were you starting to wonder if you weren't going to get back?
Yeah, it felt a lot longer 2 years into that. But I wasn't too worried we were going to get back. I feel like I should have won at least one race last year and kind of gave it away in the last lap, I think. So I had a couple other chances, but just didn't ever feel like our car was all that great the last 2 seasons, to be honest. And got a new car this year, and so far so good.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, how important is it to kind of get that monkey off your back so early in the year?
Yeah, it's definitely important. You don't see 2 seasons without winning a race. Where you go into the 3rd season without winning, it starts to weigh your mind more and more. So to get it out of the way every month is definitely a good feeling. Now we can just kind of focus on trying to get better every weekend. Maybe want to see more of the season's over.
Does that affect you in the car during a race? That you start thinking about, wow, is something going to go wrong? We haven't won for X, Y, Z. Does that ever creep into kind of your psyche while you're racing?
No, it hasn't with me. To be honest, I felt all week like I was going to win that race Saturday.
Wow, I like the confidence. There you go.
I just had that feeling. I knew we were going to be starting up front. Starting up front's, 80% of the game anymore. So, I just was confident all week that we could get it done, and we pulled it off.
Alan, car count's been like a discussion pretty much the last couple of years. Obviously, you're a family-funded team. Why do you think the car counts are getting smaller, and do you see, what do you feel is the biggest problem?
It's just, the only thing I see, there's just not many high-dollar rides around anymore. Mm-hmm. Most of the teams that are around here are family-owned teams or, low-budget teams, and it still costs a lot of money to run these things, and, our pay hasn't really gone up a whole lot over the last couple of years, so, I think that plays into some of it.
You know, Alan, your dad has been a big part of your racing career, and obviously he's dealing with some health issues with cancer and things of that nature. I know he wasn't there this week. How tough was that for you, or was that kind of an emotional deal for you, winning and not having him there?
Yeah, it was definitely emotional. I think the last 2 weeks are the only 2 weeks he's ever not been there when I've raced. I can't think of any other instances where that was the case. So, yeah, it's been hard. I've been racing with him since I was 16 years old, so to not have him there the last 2 weeks has been pretty tough. But, him, Mom, and my sister were at home, and they watched on Speed Shift TV, so, it was kind of nice they still got to see it. So, I wish they would have been there, but I guess that's next best thing.
Now, do you call him afterward, or when you go home, do you share that moment with him the best you can? And what was that like for him to see you win?
Yeah, I was texting my sister after the race, and she said about calling him. I thought I wouldn't be able to handle it if I called him, but she called me first then, and then she put him on the phone, and we talked a little bit. It was pretty special. He sounded pretty happy, so anything we can do to make him feel a little better. I know he's been feeling down pretty hard the last few weeks for sure, so it felt good to give him a little something to cheer about.
Pretty good medicine for Larry. That's awesome. Hey, how long do you see your career lasting in sprint cars? Like I know you're getting older. Obviously, we all are. Do you see yourself running 10, 15, 20 more years, or is it just a matter of finances, or like what do you feel is your end game in the sprint car game?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Fair enough.
We're kind of taking it one year at a time at this point.
Yep.
It's getting harder and harder to do every year for us for sure. Our car's not really located real close to any of the tracks we race at, and now with me living in York, luckily I still work at my parents' machine shop, so usually I just leave after work and come up work on the car, but they're talking about retiring, so when that goes away, I'm not sure what's going to happen.
So you'll be a free agent, so to speak, when that happens.
Yeah, I imagine.
And
it's going to be the last year of my own car, so we'll see what happens.
Well, and how difficult is that? Let's face it, you've never really had to go out searching for a ride. Do you ask somebody how to approach it? Do you talk? I know you're friends with Corey Haas and those guys in the pit area, but do you ask them how to do that? Have you thought of that? How do you even approach that?
That's a good question.
I try.
I never really given it a whole lot of thought. I never really asked Corey or anybody like that about that kind of stuff. So, I've talked over the years about driving their car and stuff, and things just didn't work out for whatever reason. But might have to look for something after this year. So, we'll just see what happens.
How difficult is it to be an underfunded, family operation in this game? It's not like your car's owned by, where you're out in the road with the World of Outlaws and you can get a big name sponsor, from wherever. You're doing it around here, kind of mom and pop, so to speak. How difficult is that? And then having to compete against some of the bigger teams in the area and obviously the professionals when they come in.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. Like I said, the last 2 years, I just didn't think we had a car that's fast enough to win races, and we really didn't have the money to put another one together at that point. So we're just kind of stuck around with what we had. It kind of hurts us there, but now we have this new car here together. I feel like the stuff we have now is as good as most of the stuff out there, anyways. At least good enough that I can compete with it. So, but it's just tough right now. We got one car together and one motor. So, if anything happens, we're kind of screwed for a couple weeks anyway.
So what's the plan this year? Are you going to run Lincoln regular? Are you going to maybe go to Port Royal a few times? Are you going to move around, or what? How are you looking at this season?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say right now. At the beginning of the season, we were planning on running Lincoln pretty much every Saturday, and I wanted to run the Grove 15 to 20 races and try to get up to Ford a couple times. And changes, things like that. But right now it's just kind of week to week. Trying to keep the motor together and car in one piece. And as long as we do that one week, we'll race the next week. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Do you take less chances on the track? I mean, knowing that you only have one car, one motor, I mean, do you kind of, I mean, I hate to say it, but, not maybe race as hard as you could race?
Yeah, I would say that's accurate. Especially the first 2 weeks of Lincoln there, the track was narrow and
you can say it was one lane. It's okay. We're not gonna hold it against you.
narrow is race code for one lane.
That's true.
Yeah. And then the second week we drew a bad number and it was hard to pass again and kind of run around back to the feature. There were some guys you don't race with all that often and I was just kind of like, I'm not going to risk crashing this thing to pass the guy for 20th. So, but we'll kind of take our chances when we go and go from there.
Now, are you planning to run the Grove every week? I know sometimes that's hit or miss.
Nah, we won't run every week. Like I said, we're planning on maybe 15 or 20 shows, all the time trial races and stuff like that. Just gonna hit some of the Yellow Breeches races, but let's see. And if we don't get our motor together, we might miss a couple weeks there and not race at all. So let's see what happens there.
Now you've sat out a few races before. Is that tough for you? I mean, are you to the point where it's hard for you to miss a race because it's let's face it, it's addicting.
Yeah, last year was really the first year where we missed a bunch of races. I think we still made them all Lincoln, but we didn't run hardly all Groves. We blew our motors up early in the year. That kind of put us behind the whole year, so we weren't able to get up to the bigger tracks as much as we would have liked to. But yeah, it's definitely tough. You like to race. I like to race at least 50, 60 times a year, but sometimes different circumstances you're just not able to do that. So hopefully we can race more this year than we did last year. But we'll see what happens next year. 2 races, and like I said, we're just pretty much taking one weekend at a time at this point.
Do you start looking for a ride for next year early? I mean, let's face it, we all know September, after Knoxville Nationals, that's when silly season usually likes to kick up. Do you start to look for a ride early this year to maybe get a jump on people? Do you start making calls or at least looking?
Nah, I don't see myself doing that. Like you said, it probably won't be, if we do something like that, it won't be till closer to the end of the year. But, I have something in mind. So, if the time comes where I gotta make a call like that, we'll have to do that.
Well, and hopefully you don't have to do that, and hopefully, you keep everything together, maybe get another car somewhere, and you can finish out the season. But congratulations on winning last week at Lincoln Speedway. And again, thank you for coming on the show. We greatly appreciate it.
Yep, I appreciate you having me on. It was fun talking to you guys.
All right. Hey, you take care, and we'll see you this weekend.
All right, buddy. See ya.
Thank you. Welcome back to segment 5, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum and Wicked Cushion. Ryan, this is where we're shaking out. Before we go into our picks, before we go into what's coming up this week, I'm up 4 wins to 3, which I'll stretch that. Top 5s, I have 11, you have 9. Top 10s, you have 17, I have 16. And now I am +1. Remember when I was up by 50?
Yeah, I remember. I sent Joe a little picture this week of a guy fishing. And that's me. I'm fishing.
False sense of security. That's what.
Yeah,
that's what I'm calling it.
I have a bad feeling we're going to pick some USAC races this
We're
week.
picking USAC. That's
boy. Do I ever struggle with those?
Well, we're going to start close to home first.
Okay.
Williams Grove Speedway. 410 sprints, ULMS late model, 7:30 start. You know, obviously, storylines to follow. Ken Lucas back up his opening day win. It's a draw show again.
It is.
So
That's a big.
It's a
that
lot.
turns into a big dilemma for your choices, your picks.
it could, especially depending who you're, who you're picking. So it's, I don't know.
So, do I have to pick first?
You're going to
I'll tell
pick
you what.
first.
Oh, okay. I got to pick first.
You're going to pick first.
Okay. I am going to go with Danny Dietrich this week at Williams Grove.
I'm stunned.
I know.
I didn't expect that. I'm almost dumbfounded. Okay. Not that he can't win. I'm surprised you went there.
I went there.
Okay.
I just have a feeling that he's been fast all year so far. Here in PA, he's been fast.
We need our producer to write these down, who they take.
I have a pretty good idea who you're going to take now at this point, but I'll give you my reasoning if you take that car.
I want to take Freddie because he's just due.
He is, absolutely.
But I don't know. That's dicey. I'm going to take Freddie Ram.
You remember in the heat race from a week ago?
Yeah. He didn't draw well.
But honestly, he hasn't drawn well all year, so I expect he's going to have to.
Right.
He's going to have to draw good. You beat the odds eventually.
I'm going to take Freddie Ram.
That's a good choice.
Yep. So then we're moving on to Lincoln Speedway. They start at 6 o'clock on Wednesday night. 410s and 358 sprints. Car counts. That's I think something you alluded to in segment 3. Obviously last week 20 and 20. So they're losing Danny Dietrich. He's going to Port Royal. He said that. So, I think obviously a lot of the storylines, Alan Krimes one, like, can he back it up? Sure, you can win a race and so on. Now what?
By the way, I think that has to be the feel-good story of the year by
so
a
far.
mile so far.
So far.
Yeah.
The next one will be when Anthony Macri wins.
Yeah.
Which, never know, could be this week. Hint, hint. So, Lincoln Speedway, I'm going to take Brian Monteith. It's happening this week.
Yeah, that was going to be my choice too.
Well, not this week.
I'm going to pick him this week.
It's not happening.
Okay. I'm going to have to go with, Dietrich's not going to be there. I don't have a feeling Lucas is going to be there.
No, I don't think so.
I guess I'll have to work down the points list. And second points last year was Chad Trout.
Going with Chad Trout.
Chad Trout.
Interesting.
I don't know that he has great finishes this year, so he should be
He's
starting.
in the top 5.
He should be starting.
Finished
in a
5th
decent
last
spot.
week. Meaning he'll be in the top 5. That's
and that's what I need right now. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah. Well, I'm going for wins.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm going after it.
Go ahead.
So, Port Royal Speedway, they start at 4 o'clock, which
Yes, they do.
that's where I'll be this week. I'll have our producer will be at Lincoln Speedway, giving us some videos. So I appreciate that. And Bill McIntyre III, as he sits over there, and I don't know what he's doing. So
In a precarious
he should be writing down
position.
our picks. He should be writing down our picks. That's what he just gave us the.
Yeah.
We have Joe. We have Joe on show.
Joe keeps everything on the up and up.
So Port Royal, full slate.
Ooh.
We have 410
Yeah, long
sprints, late models, limited late models. 4 p.m. start, though. They had 22 cars last week for the sprints. Obviously, will all the invaders come in again? We'll see. Daylight surface racing for them is phenomenal.
Yes.
I've never seen a track have day races or those twilight races as good as Port Royal.
Consistently too. I mean, it's almost one afternoon. You never see a snoozer.
No.
But I got the first pick this week, and I think we're going to see a snoozer this week.
Wait, Dylan Cisney is, I think, one of the storylines too. Okay,
Oh, absolutely.
These guys who are these fringe guys, they're not the Dietrich, Monteith, the top tier.
Yep.
The next tier where they fall. What do they do after a win? I think that's always important.
I agree.
You build momentum with the win.
Don't give us a letdown.
You always want to keep that momentum rolling. So you have the floor. Who are you taking at Port
Who
Royal?
do you think I'm taking? I
Dietrich.
can't believe you. No. There's going to be a baby blue car there.
Oh, you're taking Zerfas.
No, not that baby blue car.
Oh, you're taking Deweese.
Yep. I was surprised you didn't take him on the Williams Grove. I really
You
was
know-
shocked. The reason I didn't take him at Williams Grove was going to be their first race of the year.
Yeah, that's fine.
And honestly, dumb stuff happens the first race. You got to get the bugs worked out. I'm not saying, hey, they could go to Williams Grove and win by half a lap. I'm not saying they can't do that, but
No,
I'm just
they
saying.
He doesn't draw well. Did you ever notice that?
It's not going to matter at Port Royal. They're
No,
so fast
see,
at
that's the
Port
thing.
Royal. Yeah.
I was waiting to take him at
Yeah.
Port Royal.
Well, guess
That was
what?
I was kind of.
Guess what?
Well, I'm going to take Dietrich because he's really good at Port Royal.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
And daytime surface will fit the bill.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, one of the biggest things is weather in Central PA. It's supposed to be in the 50s and 60s both days.
That'll be a blessing.
Obviously, we have some precipitation possibly in the forecast Friday now. So hopefully that changes. Invaders showing up. Carl Bowser, AJ Flick, Zerfos is staying. He said he's running Williams Grove and Port Royal. George Hoball, Garvin. Does anybody else? Cale Conley. Are these guys going to come in and run Williams Grove? If I do think they'll run Port Royal. These are all cars I think that'll go to Port Royal. Even though if I'm running the All-Stars, I'm going to Lincoln because I think Lincoln's harder to get a hold of. I mean, you could speak to that. Is Lincoln harder to run than Port Royal?
I think here's my opinion with the All-Star guys because they're used to smaller tracks. I think they will adapt quicker to Lincoln than Port Royal. Because I think Lincoln's a smaller track and maybe more like what they're used to out there. They don't have anything the size of Port Royal, the speed of Port Royal, nothing even close.
Yeah, but they do better at Port Royal. Dale Blaney's won there.
Dale Blaney has one there, but Dale Blaney's won at Lincoln too.
I mean, Holtgraver used to come in and he could put it in the top 5.
Yeah.
Kemenall ran, but Lincoln, I just don't think they get a handle.
I don't know. I never liked going to Lincoln, so no.
So you were always out. You were always out to lunch.
If I could go anywhere on a Saturday night, it wouldn't be there. But hey, that's me. Yeah, we were always out to lunch there.
World of Outlaws. Can we get the weather looks good for Keller Auto
racing.
Speedway and Paris Auto Speedway, so we should have some World of Outlaw races on Dirt Vision for us back here, which is another reason I'm going to Port. Not that it matters; they're 3 hours behind. But also, I've been to Lincoln twice and haven't been to Port yet, so going to Port. But yeah, the World of Outlaws. Look, the storylines are. They had a week off. It feels like they haven't raced for a month.
It probably really feels like that if you were a guy out there.
I mean, I just don't. Does Darren Pittman continue his consistency? He's holding on to the point lead.
Yeah.
As of now, it's a close point lead. I think that'll change right about the end of May. That's when it starts to. Will he leave California with the point lead? 2 races. Then they go to Arizona.
California? 2 races. Yeah, I think you will.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Brad Sweet, you mentioned him earlier. You know, he has 3 straight top 4 finishes, 2 runner-up finishes. Does he crack victory lane this week? How about does the California driver show up and win? California guys have been pretty good. Justin Sanders was running in the top 3 a couple weeks ago.
Chico.
And by the way, one of the most underrated drivers, in my opinion, anywhere. Nobody talks about him.
Nope.
We do. I mean, obviously, it's Joe Von Schultz. That's his driver. That's not why we talk about him. I think he's won the most races in California over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
That's not luck.
Yeah, you should be talked about with that, with those accolades, I would say.
And it's been in different cars. He doesn't run Joe's car all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he probably runs that the
least for sure.
You know,
Yeah.
get on Joe to bring it to to Ohio and Pennsylvania. But we'll see. Hopefully down the road.
Meatballs aren't expensive enough out here.
Yeah, meatballs are cheaper. Bring Joey Bats.
Yeah.
I'll get him to. I'll get him. He can eat 2 meals for the price he eats 1 out there, which Joey will like that.
Yeah, he will. Bonus.
World of Outlaws, Keller Auto Speedway, Friday night.
Well, Keller Auto Speedway is also known as
Hanford.
That's okay.
I'm picking first.
Yep, you're up.
I have no idea. No, I'm going to take Brad Sweet.
You.
He's California. I like him on the left coast.
Hanford. Oh, I'm going to have to go with Pittman. Continuing the speed, the early season speed, and consistency.
Okay.
Why are you looking at me like that?
You
Since
always pick Darren Pittman. It's every week.
He's been pretty good to me.
Oh, stop.
Now there's a couple races that he could have won, but he didn't. But He still
pick
picked
him every week.
It's okay.
Does anybody pick Donnie Schatz anymore? I mean, well, the next night they go to Paris.
Yeah.
And go ahead. This is where you do it. Go ahead.
Oh, you mean pick Donnie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll take Donnie.
Yeah.
You're mad because no one picked him, so I might as well take him.
Yeah, I'm going to have to twist your arm on that.
Actually, I feel like the Paris thing is better for Donnie.
I would agree with that.
So I'm feeling pretty good about my 2 picks.
Well,
You can take Sweet again. I mean, what the heck?
Well, I could.
Yeah.
With my luck, he would win the second night if I don't pick him.
That's the way it usually goes.
You know what? I'm going to go against the grain.
Good. I like when you go against the grain. Because we still have a USAC pick, so I'll make all that mess up.
I'm going to take Carson Macedo.
That's a good pick, though.
You know, I like when California guys running out there. Those tracks are different, so I'm going to go Carson Macedo. You said it. USAC back in action. Feels like they haven't run since last year. Last time they ran was February 16th.
Whew.
So they've had some time off. So they run at Lawrenceburg.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Thomas Jr., the only driver with 3 top 5 finishes. So, 3 different winners. And Tyler Courtney isn't one of them. Chris Wyndham won, CJ Leary, Justin Grant. Those have been your winners so far. Lawrenceburg's a fun track.
Oh, I think, I've watched some midget highlights from there. I think it might be, the best track I've seen midget racing at.
It's really good, really. And there's a casino outside Turn 1, which I like.
It always makes it better for you.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I need that. I picked first, right?
With your bank, you can do that. I don't go to the casino.
Okay, you're a professional crew chief. You make more bank.
Like I said, I didn't go to the casino.
Stop it. So we got to pick USAC, which you were strongly against.
Ooh. Well, that's because I've been taking a whooping in there.
Well, that's not my problem.
I know.
I did.
I'm going to change that this week.
Yeah, I mean, this is a crapshoot.
That's my problem. It is a crapshoot.
You know what, USAC. This is the best USAC's been.
That's why it's really a crapshoot, because it's very diverse. They have really good drivers.
I think this group is really good.
Yeah.
And I'm going KT.
Okay.
I'm going Kevin Thomas. The streak continues. I think he wins it this week at Lawrenceburg.
Well, Tyler Courtney hasn't won yet.
And see, that's a good pick. Is that who you're going with?
Wyndham is always there. I need guys that are just there.
Watch Justin Grant. I think Justin Grant's going to have a
Grant.
really good year this year. Really came on the second half of last year, so I like what I see there. Not going to pick him because I'm going with KT. You have Courtney.
No, I'm going to go with Wyndham.
Now you're changing?
Yeah. Well, we didn't finish. We didn't go to the next race. There isn't one.
Is that the statute of limitations on it?
Well, I never completely said Courtney. I said I'm thinking about Courtney. He hasn't won a race yet. And then I said, well, Wyndham's like the model of consistency.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to go with Wyndham.
All right.
Don't fail me, Wyndham. Or I'll never pick another USAC race again.
Yeah. No, you're picking USAC again. Don't kid yourself. USCS are at Lexington 104 Speedway Friday, an old number 1 speedway. Dude, how about their speedways they go to? I've never heard of them.
No.
I do like old number 1 speedway.
It sounds like an alcohol.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow.
We're not picking that one, but no Mark Smith or Tony Stewart if they do not race those events, which I don't think Tony's scheduled to run.
No.
I don't know about Mark Smith. They gives other people a chance. Morgan Turpin's, I think.
She's been very good, yeah.
I'd like to see her go 410 racing.
I don't think she's raced them all, but she's been pretty good when she's raced them.
No, I'd like to see her go 410
It'd
racing.
be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to wrap up this edition of the SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum and Wicked Cushion. Stay tuned to SprintCarUnlimited.com all week for your racing news and news, notes, whatever. We'll be back next week. Stay tuned.